Greetings, it's time for a video about this Wagner HT4500 heat gun. I picked this up, I want to say from Amazon if I remember right. Don't normally use heat guns, but I've had needs for them in the past, usually around heat shrinks, or, you know, needing to shrink some tubing, you know, that sort of thing, as well as some other stuff. I'm also bending some foam and things like that, so I figured I'd pick one up, and this is the one I got. This is how it comes. Pretty straightforward. Exactly what you'd expect. It's got a nice hard case, which I'll show you in a second. And then we'll crack open what's in it. So this is supposedly rated for 120 to 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. There's your case. You got Wagner. Not really much to say about it. It's just your standard blow molded stuff. You got a couple metal clasps. I have opened this up already. So I've already seen and messed with it. We'll say the clasps are a little, don't really hold too well. But I know some people hate blood molded cases, and I get it. But I think this one's kind of okay. Anyway, this is what you got inside. You have your manual. I will say I've had a couple of other Wagner products, and I find that their manuals are actually pretty decent. I know some people don't care about them at all, but Wagner, in my experience, makes pretty decent ones. Anyway, that's the manual. Here is the inside of the case with, of course, all the parts you get. You get 4 nozzles, you know, and this is the gun itself. Nozzles, of course, fit on. They're just kind of friction fit. You kind of have kind of a cutout, so it's like a spring, and then they pop on, you know, these little raised areas, kind of like knobs. You've got all sorts of things for, like, kind of, they call this a condenser, that's another, you got a curved one, so on. You also get a paint scraper 5-in-1 tool. I question having this. Honestly, if you're getting something like this and you're not a pro, okay, maybe that's cool, but if you're a professional getting a heat gun, I don't know that you get this, even though that this is rated at kind of higher up. This is not the lower end DIYer or even, you know, beginner. This is kind of presented as a higher level tool. You know, it's got a 5-year warranty, which is pretty cool. And it's rated to be pretty powerful. So, in any event, here it is. It's has a digital readout on the back. I will plug it in here in a second so you can see what that looks like. You got a nice big fat cable. No ground, it's just 2-pin. Here's your end. The business end, so to speak, for the heater. It has 5 speeds, and I think it changes in 20-degree increments. Now, sadly, this is made in China, but that's the way it is for some things. It's 1500 watts, which is pretty good. They also list as being double insulated, which is also very nice. That'll help protect you from getting shocked in some cases. But it's a pretty straightforward tool. In terms of that. Let's see. So, you have your on-off switch. There are 2 positions for this. Let me move the case out of the way. There are 2 positions for this. This is off, which you can see. I don't know if you can tell it too well. There's a 0 there. And if you go part way up, this is called cool down mode. And you have to turn it on all the way, and now it's in actually heating mode. I'm not really going to go into it, but this is kind of give you an idea. This is what it sounds like. Not too bad. Have air intake here, and then of course it blows out right through the end, the nozzle. Sorry, you're kind of out of focus there, or out of shot. But to reiterate, here's the intake, and then of course your outtake is through here, or the output. You have increased temperature, decreased temperature, increased fan, decreased fan. The fan is 5 speeds. Let's see, I'm not sure what we're on here. So that's all the way down, which, as you can tell, there's a bar graph. I'm not sure you can see it too well. But let me focus for you a little bit. Maybe you can see that a little better, I hope. Yeah. So if I increase it, sorry, the volume's going to get loud. You'll see it go up. And then I've got it set to 120, so that's the temp. Of course, it goes up 20-degree increments. And that's really about it. There's not that much really worth saying about it. Like I said, that's cool down mode, and then you of course turn it off. Handle itself is pretty good. This is not a very heavy device. Let's see, let me grab my scale real quick. One of the complaints I'd seen about other heat guns was the weight, and one of the things I recall reading about this is it's relatively light. Hopefully that'll be zeroed out. Let me make sure. Let's see how much it is up weighing. So it's up being, with the cord and everything, about 855 grams. So probably about closing in on 2 pounds roughly. Not too bad, I think. To me at least it feels pretty light. I mean, I'm not sure I'd want to use it all day long, but if I'm doing, you know, work for say 10-15 minutes stripping something like paint or something like that, I think that would be pretty good. Of course you got your, you know, this is kind of a rubbery grip here. Well, this is a hard plastic. It's probably ABS. I'm no expert. I'm no AVE, so I can't really say. Let's see. The buttons are pretty responsive when I was adjusting the temperature and fan, and this switch isn't too bad. It's pretty, I guess, solid from my standpoint is what it sounds like, so it's not too terrible. I did see one thing that some people complained about with this. They said that there was no stand, but what I find odd about that complaint is that you can still put it vertically like so. And like if, you know, maybe you want to take something and you want to heat it above, like you have some tubing you want to bend or some foam or something like that, you can stand it up like this with no trouble. So I'm not sure what that complaint was about. I've seen others where they say there's a stand, but this seems to be just perfect. I mean, the only thing I could think of, I guess, is if you were going to, like, you know, set it like this and you wanted to have something setting out. I don't know. That's just a guess. And maybe that's what the complaint is about. But apart from that, I don't really see that there's any particular issue with it. Let's see. Any other comments or things I can think about with this? There's not really much to cover about this, but it is kind of an interesting tool. One of the things you don't think about with heat guns are there's lots of different things you can do with them. Like I said, I mentioned bending pipe, or, you know, using it to strip paint, or using it to do heat shrink, or using it to go and bend foam. In theory, this thing is hot enough, and if you had a small enough nozzle, you could, in theory, potentially do some very crude soldering, but I really wouldn't want to do that, honestly. This just really isn't a tool for that. But you could if you really wanted to, I guess. But that's really about it for this video. Just wanted to give kind of a brief overview since I picked this up, and if there's anything interesting after I use it for a while, or any other comments, I'll do a follow-up video on it. So anyway, that's it for this video, and thanks for watching.